Hey guys, it's your girl ThisNursePris and I'm back. I know it's been like a serious long time since my last upload, but I'm back and I'm gonna be doing, you guys, I have a commitment now. I'm gonna be making and uploading bi-weekly videos. So every other Thursday, not every Thursday, that's too much for me, but like every other Thursday, you can expect a video from me. Okay, so those of you that haven't subscribed, this is your chance now. Subscribe because every other Thursday, if you don't subscribe, you're gonna miss the video. So subscribe and also turn that post notification on. So this video, it's gonna be on the topic fire assumptions. So I know this trend has been going on a while ago, but like it took me a while to hop on this trend, but I'm here. Those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, there was a time where I asked me anything nursing related, and honestly I was a little scared. I'm like, no one's gonna ask anything because like I don't have followers, but I did have people that asked me questions. So all those people that asked me questions, y'all the real MVP. I heart you guys. So this video, I'm just gonna go through those questions. I'm just gonna briefly touch on the topics you guys asked me. And guys, from this video, if you guys really want me to elaborate on a topic, let me know in the comments and I can also make another video on that specific topic. So this is like a fire assumption. I'm just gonna go really quickly through these topics, these ideas, and then answer them as best as I can. And I don't wanna make this video super long, so here I go. Okay guys, the first question is, what's one thing you do when it comes to being a nurse? So this question is really like for people that are like all the people, my colleagues and all my friends that are in nursing, you guys know there's not one thing that we do. There's like multiple things that we do during the day, and it depends. Like every nursing specialty and every kind of nursing niche has their own things, like own kind of task and own kind of thing that's unique to their own specialty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say like the few things that all nurses do is they do their assessments. Wherever you are, you're gonna have to do your assessments. OR nurses, the floor, the community, you name it. You're gonna have to do your assessments. You're gonna have to document. Yep, that's one thing all nurses do. They document, do their assessments, and then you really have to do basically patient care and patient teaching / that. So I think those are the three things that all nurses do. I think so, yeah. Okay, next question is, do you like your new job? So this question, yes. So recently, I don't know if I told you guys, I did a lot of changes in my career. So initially, like most of my career, I've been working in the PACU, peri-anesthesia unit. So it's like we have day surgery, and the people that come out of surgery, I see them first. So I've been working there for 4 years, but recently I kind of stepped back a bit. I was working full-time, and I'm not working full-time no more. I'm working casual in the PACU now. I took the critical care course a year or two ago, and I wanted to, you know, kind of use that kind of education into practice. So I decided to pick up a job at Emerge. So I just started Emerge like a couple months ago, and first off, yes, it's busy, but I really like it. There's so many things you do. You use like all your skills. The Emerge is the one place that you use every single skill. But like working Emerge during Corona, was that the smartest thing to do? I don't know, but like right now I'm liking it. It's a lot, but I'm still liking it. It's a lot to handle, but it's still good. Okay, next question. My next question is basic ED survival skills. So basic emergency department survival skills. Okay, so I've been there for like 3 months. So what I can tell you guys, number one, make sure you have your hydration, make sure you have your water, make sure you have your coffee, because it's going to be a long day, and have it near you. Number two, make sure you have your comfortable shoes or socks, because you're going to be on your feet. That's one thing I noticed. In the PACU, it's a different you. You've been sitting in your chair, you have, you know, your patient in front of you, or you have your base, and you don't have to, you know, get your stuff because everything you need is right there. In the Emerge, you're on your feet, back and forth. So shoes and socks is a must. Number three, I would say make sure you have, or you know that you have people to bounce off of, you know. A lot of time people, especially when you're in a new environment or you work, or you get a new job, you don't want to ask questions or you're afraid to ask questions. In Emerge, you can't do that. You have to ask for help when you need it. There's people to help too sometimes, but like just, you know, make it a habit. If you need help, just let people know that you need help, or, you know, stuff can go real sour. And I think those are the main three things. Also, in the Emerge, like stuff happens really quickly. One big thing I would want to stress is like you have to be proactive, not reactive. So like what I mean is So when you have your patients and they're you know, let's say a new should come rolling in,
get all the stuff.
Like, you know, if it's like, I don't know, cardiac workup, make sure you do everything right away. Just because things changes real quick, or, you know, let's say something happens and you have to be pulled somewhere else, then you will like delay care in that first patient or so. So make sure you're proactive, not reactive, because when you're reactive, you know, cost people's lives. So those are my little tidbits of information. Okay. My next question, cardiac rescue drugs. So I guess, let me just list out some cardiac rescue drugs.
Cardiac rescue drugs.
So you have epi and amiodarone, and then make sure you don't want to push no epi if the patient's not dead. So those, you know, and then let's see, if you have sinus, like any kind of bradycardia, you want to make sure you give atropine. If you have SVT, you can give adenosine to kind of, you know, stop and then reset that heart rate. And, you know, there's a few other drugs that I probably am missing, but like off the top of my head, that's what I have. And I can probably make another video on that. So yeah. Who's your best support worker? So honestly, the person that asked this, they want me to say them. It's them. It's probably not you. It could be you, but like, I'm not going to say it is. It's just because like, it's not just one person. Like, I realize that everywhere I work, there's a few people that you have to have, you know, that gets you and that you can go to, and then you can just, you know, talk to, bounce off of, and, you know, just, you know, keep it light and keep it real. So there is a few people, and you were one of them, not gonna lie, but in every area, there's a few of them. It's not just one person, but it makes you kind of feel like, you know, you can go to these people whenever you have a few things going on, and you can just bounce things off of them, and it makes you feel like more of a person. Somebody really wanted to ask, do you have a boyfriend?
No, it's a no.
I don't know why. Ask me anything nursing related, but I guess somebody really needs to know, so it's a no. Okay, next question. Have you experienced burnout? If so, how do you deal with it? Burnout happens all the time in nursing. I feel like, especially for me, I realized I burn out pretty quickly. So if I work like, let's say 3 or more shifts in a row, 3 or more 12-hour shifts in a row, that's when I burn out, because I get tired, I don't sleep well, and then I feel like, you know, I have this little bit, I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of FOMO, like fear of missing out. So like if I work 3 days in a row, and I'm like, I feel like I don't have enough time for myself. So especially ever since the whole pandemic happened, I feel like a burnout happens a lot more, just because nurses are expected to do so much more with so much less, such as PPE. And, you know, now a patient or the workload has increased significantly in all across different areas of nursing. So yes, burnout has been happening, and I realize now it's been harder to mitigate these burnouts because let's say, like for me, what I used to do is go to the gym, or, you know, chill with friends, go out to eat, and all those stuff has been taken away since COVID has happened. So as a result, I feel like there's less of my coping mechanisms that I can do now. So I had to kind of change that a bit. So instead of going to the gym, I have to work out at home. Instead of going out to eat, I have to find exciting new ways to make different foods at home. So what I do to kind of help and alleviate my burnout is basically do things that I enjoy doing, like working out, eating right, or talking to a friend. So those are the things I do. Also, other things I do to kind of help with burnout is not schedule so many shifts. Now, since I'm part-time and casual, I schedule my shifts. I don't have a line, like a full-time line. So I schedule what shifts I want to pick up and what shifts I don't want to work. So I make sure I schedule a few shifts like in a row, and then I schedule a period of where I don't have any shifts. So let's say if I work 3 shifts and I have 4 days off, I make sure that pattern happens. Even though I have to make it myself, I just make sure I can do that. So that's what I do. It's not like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm like you know, I know what I'm doing exactly. I still don't know what I'm doing, but like what I do to help is do those things, you know what I mean? Work out, eat right, you know, read a good book, and you know, chill and talk to my good friends. So those are the things I do to kind of help with my burnout. Okay. How do you balance a demanding nursing schedule with your free personal time? So I talked about it a little bit with that last question. So let's say if I work 3 or 4 shifts, I'll make sure I have 3 or 4 days off to myself, so I don't feel like, you know, I'm always in that work environment. So so far I've been doing really good at scheduling my days on and days off, and honestly, like from before when I was full-time and now, I feel like I have like more of a sense of, I feel more comfortable with where I am in life, you know what I mean? Before I felt like work was consuming and work was taking a lot of my time. Now, because I kind of make my own schedule, I feel much better, and I feel like this flexibility works so much better for me. Next question. Advice to someone who's considering bridging. So this person, bridging is when you are, let's say, an RPN. So LPN and RPN is like the equivalent, and you want to become an RN. So you have to bridge and take a course so you can become an RN. So if you are considering bridging, if you have the time, you have the resources, you have the money, do it, because honestly, in nursing, I've seen so many times where RPNs and RNs are kind of doing equivalent amount of how much, like we do like a lot of the same things. So there's many times where like the RN has more responsibility, yes, but I just really honestly always push people, if you want to do bridging, go ahead and do it. There's so many ways where you can be reimbursed for taking these courses, such as the RNO or your workplace. There's so many bursaries that you can take. It's not going to hurt your pocket that much, but however, it's going to be a lot less stress, but I'm telling you, so much worth it, because if you're an RN and RPN, you work usually in similar environments, and honestly, after a while, when you're an RPN, there's like kind of like you hit this kind of a roadblock, like you can't do any much more, and the only thing that you could do to kind of get past this roadblock is basically get your RN license, and then you can have, so you open up so much doors. So yes, if you're considering it, go ahead and do it right away. Pros and cons of being RN versus RPN. Okay, so guys, RN, RPN. So RN and RPN. RPN has like, their scope of practice is much less, and that's what they say in the college, and RN has a bigger scope of practice. Meaning like most of the time an RPN and RN work together. Let's say they may have like similar assignments. However, if one patient starts to go sour, RPN can say like, RN, this patient is no longer stable, they are unstable, and I'm giving you guys the care. What jobs RNs can have, like RNs, if you look at the jobs and the postings, or if you just look at the job market, RNs can work in more critical environments like ICU, the merge, just RPNs work in the merge. But however, the RNs that work in the merge, they work with more acute patients, they work with, you know, coding patients. So I work in the merge and I see these RPNs, they're like, oh, I want to work, you know, I want to do more critical stuff. I wish I could be where, you know, someone's coding. Yeah, I understand that, like, yeah, you've been working there for a long time, you may know what's going on, but however, just for licensing purposes, you have to upgrade your license so you can work with the more acute patients. So yeah. What was the questions again? Pros and cons. So yes, the pros of being an RN, you open so many doors, you can work in so many diverse environments, such as the PACU, the merge, the ICU, cath labs, you name it. RNs, they have like so many diverse and so many different kind of areas that you can work where you can be more autonomous. Pros of being RPN, there's less autonomy, there's less areas where you can work. However, with that means there's less responsibility. So if you're a person that are okay with, you know, you don't want that added responsibility or added stress, and you don't want that, you know, that pay jump or pay increase, then yeah, RPN is probably a place where you want to be. However, let me tell you, there's many areas and many times where you will see that, you know, I could be making so much more doing basically similar things if I just get my RN. So just to give you guys a little kind of thing to think about, where an RN starts. So the starting salary of an RN is the cap salary of RPN. So it doesn't matter, you can be working like, I don't know, 30 plus years in RPN, your cap, the most you can make is the starting salary as an RN. So that's like one little motivation for you. So yeah, that's the, like, honestly, if you become an RN, you can work basically anywhere. You can work in like clinics. A lot of these like plastic surgery clinics, they need RNs, you know what I mean? Just because they come out of fresh post-op, you can, like, most of the times they don't want an RPN because it's like, it's considered unstable, because you don't know what happens with a fresh post-op, right? So there's so many different doors, and if you want to go across the board or across the border and work in the States, you can do that as an RN, and so many things you can do. So that's one, honestly, that's one thing I always say. If you want to become an RN, if you're RPN, go ahead and do it, because it's gonna open a lot of doors. And to be honest, it may add a little bit more stress, but the stress that it adds, it's not that much. It's pretty much the same. All nurses, we have like a lot of stress in the workplace. So yeah. What's the weirdest thing that happened to you while working at a hospital? You guys, let me tell you something. At the hospital, there's so many weird things. Like, if you know me, I don't know, like if you know me, I do say this a lot. That's so weird. I think a lot of things are weird already. So baseline, like every day, there's so many weird things that happen. Like, oh my God, there was this one, like there's too many stories. I can't even like pick. Like this one time there was this guy, like there's too many. Like the one time, I'm just gonna talk about this one time when I was like fresh. I just came out like of nursing school and I was fresh, I was fresh. So I had a patient, he had urinary retention. So he couldn't pee and his bladder was like building. He had a lot of like, he couldn't pee post-op. It was after surgery. So sometimes that happened after surgery and you just have to do an in-out catheter and you're out the door. So I got my supplies and everything. I did an in and out catheter real quickly, and the guy was so relieved. The guy was with his dad, and everybody was so happy because when you have surgery, there's so many things going on. Like you're having surgery, you're stressed about the surgery, and then after surgery, then you have a complication. It adds more stress. So like with all that going on, and then when everything gets wrapped up and everything is packaged and everything is ready to go and you're ready to go home, you feel so relieved. So this guy, after I did his catheter, he emptied, his bladder was like, I think there was a lot of fluid, but his bladder empty. And his dad and him were so happy. His dad came to me, he pulled me aside. He's like, I'm so happy that you helped my son. He took really good care of him. And I really just wanted to say thank you. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. And then he's like, no.
And then he took my hand and he's like this, he's like, come like this, and he like did this.
So as he did this, he slid me like a 50. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no. He's like, no, you please take it. I'm like, I can't take it. He's like, no, I really just want to thank you for what you've done to my son. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can't take it. And I'm like, I just got my license like just recently. This can just ruin everything. So I told him like, I really can't take it. I know you want to say thank you and everything. I really appreciate it, but like this alone, like you just telling me that you really appreciate everything, it's enough. I'm just doing my job. That's it. Simple, plain and simple. All I did was did my job, and it made people really thankful. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you guys. What is the scariest thing you have seen? You know what I realized with nursing, you're like, well, it depends where you work and who you are, and different settings have different kind of supports and everything like that. But like where I am, I feel like I'm very much supported by like, the healthcare team, interprofessional people and everybody like that. So people in general, like you feel fear more when you don't know what you're gonna do next, especially in nursing. If you have a situation, unstable situation, and stuff fluctuates quickly and you do not have orders, then you become scared because you don't know how to react. And so that's one thing. I feel like I've been working in a lot of places where the environment's supported and you have orders, or you have like medical directives that you can use so that you have the tools and everything necessary, that you know how to react and take care of your patient, so you're not scared, if you know what I mean. So what's the scariest thing? Every time like I think about all these different stories, the ones that stick with me the most is like in the beginning of my career. So the one time we had a patient and we had to like use a Hoyer lift, or the lift the ceiling lift, there we go. So this patient, we got her strapped, she was a quadriplegic, and what happened, she was in the Hoyer lift and everything, and then she started to go. So once she was like, in a Hoyer lift, she was like suspended, she started to have bowel movements. So that thing was flying. So that, it was a little bit too much for me. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? There's mess everywhere, and this patient is like this. It was actually flying poop. So that moment for me was like, oh, like an OMG moment. It was like, a little scary for me because I didn't want to get poop on me, you know what I mean? Okay, next question is, can you see yourself as a nurse still 10 years from now? I do see myself doing nursing related stuff, Bedside nursing, I do not know if I can do that 10 years from now, because it's a lot of work and it's demanding on your body, like lifting patients, moving patients and whatnot. It's physically demanding. So 10 years from now, I don't know if I can do like a lot of the bedside stuff. Ooh, see, just listen to my back. Did you not hear it? Like, okay, I have to sit up straight. And I'm a tall person, so like me going down, pulling and stuff like that, it's a lot on my back. But nursing stuff like education or anything that has to do with the community. But bedside nursing, if I continue to feel healthy, young, and youthful, yeah. If I don't, nah. Somebody asked, do you wipe bum on the daily? Yo, this was like, I know a lot of people that consider or they think about going to nursing and they do not want to go to nursing because they don't want to wipe bum. I don't wipe it on the daily, but do I do it? Yes, you have to. That's nursing. Nursing is caring for people, and one thing people can't do, they lose their functions of, you know, controlling their bowels, and you're gonna have to
probably wipe bum.
That's okay. It's okay. I don't do it every day, but I do it a lot. Some days you do it a lot, some days you don't do it. It depends. It's just random. Next question. Have a patient ever been racist to you? And if so, tell a story. So if you guys know, Toronto is very multicultural. You have different diverse races everywhere, but it depends where you work. You see, if you work more in like, I don't know, Scarborough, you have a more South Asian kind of race there. But if you work, and there's actually a lot of black people also in Scarborough, but if you work downtown, there's like a whole mix of different cultures, and you can see that. Like I work in different areas, even in Richmond Hill, you have more of Italian and Russians and that kind of culture there. The one time I remember this, I'm telling you, in the beginning of my career, everything sticks with me that happens in the beginning. Like I don't know what happened. The beginning of your career, you learn, you see stuff, and it sticks with you. And then after, everything comes like a blur. So like in the beginning of my career, I'm telling you, I was doing, this is like when I used to work in, you know, day surgery. So I was doing my assessment, you know, checking in my patient, doing her pre-op questionnaire, and this lady, she was just really all over the place. So for me, I'm trying to do my job. Everything is like, you know, time specific, and you want to get things done right and done quickly and efficiently. This girl kept talking all over the place. So I kept trying to redirect her, and then she kept looking at me. She's like, oh, you're really tall and everything. Do you play basketball? Most of the times I would just let it slide, but I just answered the question as, you know, truthfully as I can. I'm like, no, not all black tall people play basketball. And then after I said that, and I just said my views, she's like, I offended her. Bruh. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I offended her by telling her that, you know, pointing out the fact that not all black tall people play basketball. And she kept going on and on. She's like, you shouldn't have said that to me. I love black people. I'm actually dating one, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my goodness. This is like, I really, like, I honestly, to be honest, at this time, I really wanted to finish this checklist and have her go into the OR. But she made it a big deal, and she started to cry. And I'm like, wow, you're crying. But what about me? So I had to like suck it up. I'm like, okay, I am sorry for making you feel such and such way and whatnot. And I had to, you know, do like a little there. And then honestly, it took a while, but then she kind of, you know, calmed down a bit and everything like that. But like, I'm telling you, like me pointing out one fact or just, you know, just saying something that how I felt could offend somebody, I thought that like it was absurd. You know what I mean? That was just craziness. But I'm telling you, this happens all the time, and I really just kind of like ever since that moment, I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not even worth it. It's not. Like, I'm just not gonna even say anything. I'm just gonna brush it under, because at the end of the day, it's gonna cause me more stress and more work to do in the end. How is it like working at a COVID test center? Oh, that is not bad, honestly. Okay, let me tell you, in the beginning, like I thought it was the worst thing ever. Like I thought it was like the worst kind of thing to work in the COVID assessment center. I'm like, yo, this is actually so crazy. These people want me to die. They're making me this like a death sentence. Honestly, after we got more information what's going on with COVID, and we were given the choice to wear the N95 and everything, and you honestly, when you just feel safe in an environment, it's not that bad anymore. For me, it's like the factory kind of nursing, because it's like the same thing over and over again. People come in, they need to get swabbed. You just do a quick assessment, blah 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 blah, do a little documentation, and then put a swab in and out. That's it. So it's like, I feel like it's like a factory job. You go in and out, in and out, in and out. So it's not bad, but like after a while, you get kind of bored of it. It's the same thing over and over again. But like honestly, if you're a new grad and you need a job, go to the COVID assessment center, get your hours in, and then get out. Next question. What are your biggest motivators? Okay, so for me, what I do every day, I go to sleep, I wake up, and I ask myself, what can I do today that will improve or make myself better, or will make me have a better impact than what I did yesterday? So every day, that's one thing I do. I try to make sure that I grow and I become a better person than I was yesterday. That's one thing. So it doesn't matter. It goes across board, like of nursing, or in my personal life, or with my relationship, my friends, or my peers. I always want to make sure I can do better. So let's say one day, I don't know, at work I was really bad. I couldn't do all the IVs. I was just missing. The next day, I would take my time to make sure I don't do the same kind of mistakes I did. So that's one thing that motivates me. And that one thing I kind of, try to do and strive to make sure that, I am a better person than yesterday. Basically, my parents, I see them like they work. I don't know about you guys, but I come from, my parents are Ghanaian, they're, the African background. These people work hard, you know what I mean? So like, I look at them like, I cannot, do any less than what they did. So whatever they gave me, I'm supposed to use that and make sure I use that to make myself better, or make, not only myself, but like my people better. So that's one thing that pushes me and, kind of helps me strive to do better. Also, like for me, like I always make a mental note, or even like just also actual physical note of all my goals. So me reaching those goals and seeing myself, do so much better than how I done last year, it motivates me to, if I've done this already, why can I not do better? So those things motivate me each day. So those little, things that I do to kind of make me go above and beyond. What's the worst part about being a nurse? Full transparency. Okay guys, so for me, I don't want to sound like, I'm bitter and everything like that, but ever since the pandemic, I'm telling you guys, ever since this whole pandemic has started, it has opened my eyes to how much people don't appreciate nurses. Like we do a lot, we bend ourselves back. We're basically risking our life at some, like a lot of the time, people are risking their lives going to work. And if we do like request for something so small, like it's just like a small little fraction, let's say a vacation request or something that, it will just make someone so much happier, gets denied, or people don't even like, those little things really make it really not worthwhile being a nurse. Other than that, there's Bill 124. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but like because of how the economy is going, and the government, they realize in Ontario especially, they realize that they're not going to be able to sustain economy and healthcare if, with the money that they have. So to kind of help and mitigate this, they're going to restrict the public sector from getting a raise. So in this kind of category, there's nurses, there's teachers, and firefighters and police officers. They're exempt from this. But I'm telling you, like, nurses, we don't make that. Like, I don't want to sound ungrateful again, but I'm telling you, like, in Toronto especially, where homes are like $1 million and above, it just hurts. Like, I can't even, like, it's hard for me to afford a place to live by myself. I still live with my parents. I still live in my parents' house. This is my parents' house. I still live here because I cannot do this by myself, because it's hard. Like, and the other thing is too, that makes it really sad, nurses, especially like in the GTA, if you compare it income with a lot of other people, the income is not that, like if you compare it with, like, let's say how much the average person makes, or the income is not that bad, but it's just hard to live in Toronto, hard to afford homes, it's hard to just afford transportation and whatnot. It's just a hard life. So then having that restriction with one bill, 124 is like a slap in their face. That's how I feel. To be honest, this is just my opinion and this is how I feel. I'm not trying to make anyone feel like, I'm not trying to say things to make it seem like somebody's job or someone's qualifications is less. No, not at all. I'm just saying how I feel. That's how I feel, straight up. I go to work each day, come home, my feet is hurting, I have to kind of like, lie there for 2 days to recover after work, and then, I can't even afford a place to live by myself. It's like a slap in the face. But besides all that, honestly, if you go to work and you do make that impact with people that are sick, and you tell, like, honestly, sometimes there's like, I'm really touched with my patients and stuff like that. That's like so much more of a compensation than the actual money. Straight up. I'm almost done actually, guys. This is actually my last question. Do you prefer day or night shifts? Okay, so this is one thing I'm still trying to figure this out. Like for me, I haven't been working that many nights because I used to work day surgery in a ambulatory hospital. So I never used to work nights for like 3 or 4 years of my life, my nursing career. So I'm just recently kind of new to this night shift kind of idea. But for me, I like the days because you feel like a regular person. You wake up, you go to work, and you are one with the world. You know what I mean? The night shifts, you're like complete opposite where everybody is. You know what I mean? You go to work and then you're working while people are sleeping, and then you go to sleep and then you can wake up. And I feel like, honestly, for me, when I wake up, I feel like I missed out on so many things. Like the other day, I woke up and then that whole inauguration happened and everything. I feel like I missed out on that piece of history. You know what I mean? But to be honest, the night shifts, it's less stress. It's like a less stressful environment work-wise. However, your body, you feel that stress later on. For me, sometimes after the second night, I feel like I'm hungover. I feel like I had like a really bad night. And I feel like hungover. I have this headache and everything. It's really bad. So day shifts, you just don't have that feeling of your body going through a whole train wreck. However, you have to do a lot of care. You have to do a lot more in terms of, your task, care, and admissions. There's a whole lot of things going on in the day shifts at work. However, you don't have that added toll on your body. The night shifts, less thing going on, but your body feels like shit. So for me, I don't know, like honestly, it's like I'm on the fence. Like I like the day shifts because you feel like a regular person. You don't have that, train wreck feeling. However, you are busy as so right now, I'm just gonna say I kind of like the night shift because it's like right now today, because of COVID and everything's like really, especially now, the hospitals are pretty stressed right now. Like they're over capacity right now. So right now, night shifts I kind of like a little bit better. But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel like I'm dead. I'm alive, but I'm dead. So guys, this is pretty much it. I like this video is super long already, so I have to really cut it out and make it short. I really appreciate all my peeps for asking my questions and helping make this video. I couldn't have done it without you guys. All those people that are watching or tuning in for the first time, don't forget to subscribe so I can make more content and more things that are related to topics that you guys like. Also turn that post notification on, share with your friends, let me know also in the comments what you guys want to hear about in the future, and so I can make content on things that you like. Okay guys, so I've got a lot of people telling me I need to make more videos because there's not a lot of bloggers or YouTubers that are from Toronto or Canada, so I'm coming. Okay, be patient with me, and I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna start making and producing bi-weekly videos. So every other Thursday I am going to post and make videos for you guys. Okay, all right guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed my video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and also thank you, and stay safe guys. Bye.